like shit is fucking terrifying.
I hate.
I've seen some of the videos and it's just like, oh man, pardon me as I attempt to yank the hair off of your scalp with thousands of people watching and just not give a fuck.
Yeah.
We're talking about women's soccer players, by the way.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
They're fucking terrifying.
Well, yeah,
like,
no, it's like in men's soccer, it's like, oh no, the air has brushed past me. Ow, oh my god, I must
women's
fall down.
soccer,
And, like,
it's just
women's
like
soccer is like, I have taken a
BFG.
cleat to the face at 20 miles an hour. My nose is ruined. I would like to continue playing, please and thank you.
It's just like BFG division playing constantly in all of their heads.
Yeah.
They are the doom guy in all of their stories. Everything else is just a demon to be crushed. That is the energy.
To be fair, hockey players are also at a completely different level because they can get their eye slitted by a skate and they're like, just get it stitched up. I'm going to be right back in.
Don't worry, coach. I'm fine. Put me back out there, even though I obviously can't see and I have eye gunk running down my face.
Oh god, let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
I knew a guy who had a story kind of like that was, it was gnarly.
Wounds to the eyeballs are just icky.
Guys,
makes me uncomfy.
Guys. Welcome back.
Hi, hello,
We're
how
here.
are you?
Hi.
We're here. We're alive.
Not.
I almost died.
We're not dead.
Wait,
Yet.
when did you almost die?
I mean, he went to Estonia, so I'm sure something whack happened there. That's my assumption.
No, it was my trip back. Just like
you're talking about when you got like the plague.
Like, yeah, I just drowning in my own snot for like a week, and today is the first day I can breathe without drugs.
Oh man, that was me like 2 weeks ago. So that part of the reason we've been gone for basically 2 months is just a series of unfortunate events, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I was talking to Mitchell about his trip a couple days ago, and I was saying like I feel his pain when I went to California to visit Jess when she was still at Edwards Air Force Base. The gift that I got for going to California to see my girlfriend, who I hadn't seen at that point in like a year and a half, was an absolute fucking miserable chest infection that lasted the entire time I was there and about a week and a half after I'd gotten back.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that this cough doesn't last for 5 months like it did last time.
Yeah, that was miserable.
Yeah. But yeah, we're back.
Lorecast
my name is Mitchell.
Has returned.
I'm one of the beautiful hosts here. Maybe some may say like the most beautiful.
I mean, if the Discord has anything to say about it,
their opinions matter.
The thirst,
yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
The thirst was very real. I am Jacob. Hello, all of you beautiful people. It's good to be back.
I'm Phil.
So we're doing Gloomspite Gitz today.
Yes,
Gloomspite. Yeah.
We have.
Listen, I have
fixed
fixed my sleep schedule, so like it hits like 10:30, and I get real tired. So like my brain's not working right now.
It's 10 o'clock, so you got 30 minutes of cognitiveness.
It's gonna hit 10:30, and I'm gonna get weird.
Okay, do we want to try to speed run through this?
No, just fully embrace the headassery.
Before we get to the Gloomspite Gitz, we do have a couple other announcements to make.
Yes.
So one, we got some new Patreon members. Thank you very much for supporting us in these trying times.
Would you like to name them off?
To our beautiful supporters who support us through the hardest of life. The new ones being Killer Chili.
My boy.
That man gave me an OBR army. That man has supported me more, or supported Lorecast in a very different way. Lord Sadness.
He's feeding our what?
Yeah, one of them is Lord Sadness, and we get Extreme Bacon.
Excellent.
What makes bacon extreme though?
It's inherently extreme. They're just stating it for the world to know.
I think at a certain point, it's actually no longer like extreme bacon is just pork belly.
No, hold on. I feel like the 1 pound slice of bacon on a stick that you get from TRF is that's extreme bacon.
Yes. Jav Idol, Tom, the Little Skaven, Zachary, Ed. That's it.
Oh, cool. Thank you guys for hopping on. Like Phil said, shout out to the Patreon. You guys are awesome. You you provide us with the funds necessary to keep our equipment up and running and getting new stuff and trying to have the best possible content that we can make.
Especially now that Philip lives in Waco.
There will be a lot more driving involved.
A lot more driving involved.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's actually part of the reason that we couldn't get this episode done, was that my computer was packed up for a month because I kept having to delay my move date due to rain and other crap for a month.
Yeah, so what had happened is Phil's talked about it a tiny bit, but yeah, so we've been gone for like a month and a half, and we hadn't really talked about it. So sorry about that. We probably should have said something, but everyone's life got really complicated really quick. So as y'all know, Mitchell went to Estonia with his brother just to have a little vacation. They've been planning that for a while. Philip started school again, and he was moving out to be near his school. And then that move out date got delayed because, my house flooded. And that happened.
So first of all, the house flooded. So then I had to move my computer early because we're doing remote recordings at this time. But I had to move my computer early. So it got packed up early. And then I was going to be moving that weekend. But then that weekend was severe flash flood warning for both where I was living and where I was moving to. And I was like, okay, I can't move that weekend. So then I delayed it a weekend, at which point Mitchell was then in Europe. So then it's like, well, we can't record while he's in Europe. So then we had to wait a week. And that weekend, again, severe storm warnings. So I couldn't move. So then we had to wait another week. And then by that week, I was like sick as a dog.
Is that math adding up?
So I don't remember. It was something like that. And then the weekend after
Anywho.
that, I was moving and didn't have internet, and like I actually got to move. But
60%. Like a lot of your shit's still, taking up my space.
no, not a lot of it. Just some clothes and honestly,
Just
my miniatures.
Almost my entire fucking dining room table, and
Okay, well that's booze, and like technically part of that's yours.
But yeah, so the moving fiasco was indeed a fiasco. I had a series of complications with my job that I'm not going to get into, but shit got really complicated at my house really quickly, and it's just now kind of getting solved, kind of ish, not really. If anything, I've gotten used to it, and that's what it is. It was a period of change, and but yeah, so shit got really weird for all of us, and realistically, we should have made y'all more aware, but we didn't. Sorry about that. We will endeavor to be.
Hey, we're going to be unavailable for the next 3 weeks, and like we can plan around that. No, it was always like, hey, we're going to be recording in 2 days. Oh, by the way, shit's happening, and we can't do that.
Yeah.
But hey, we're here. We're alive. We love y'all. Now we're gonna talk.
Thank you very much for supporting us.
Yes. Oh, and next Saturday, I'm gonna put this in the Discord as well. But next Saturday, we're gonna be doing game night. That got kind of pushed around as well. Once again, my bad. A special Elite 1 apologies to the Patreon members. Kind of that's something I'll pay for, and that's a pretty big fuck up. At least I consider it to be. So.
No, it is.
That will definitely be going on next Saturday, and once again we will be coming together sometime between 2 and 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and yeah. And also I think for our last announcement is we got an email that we wanted to share from one of our listeners that was really
it made us cry.
It was very, very nice, and it was as good, especially with all the shit that's been happening the past month and a half. It was really good to get some positive stuff from someone, and it made us feel good. And we got their permission, and we wanted to share a little bit about what they said.
I did have positiveness. I was on vacation in a different country.
Okay, you know what, Mitchell?
Had nice things.
You know what, Mitchell? Fuck you. How about that? That's what you get.
Okay.
Fuck you and your trip. Oh, the next time you go out of country, you get hostled.
Oh boy.
Bro, no. Have you actually seen those movies? They're so fucked.
I've seen all of them, and they're fucking awful.
Yeah.
They're pretty rough.
But no, back to what we were saying though. So we got an email from a longtime listener, and they were saying that while they really like our content. Sorry about that. Well, they really like our content. They actually haven't been able to play much recently, but they work as a delivery driver. And one day on their route, they hopped out to make a delivery, and somebody came up to him and was like, "Hey, wait a second, is that Lorecast Eternals you're listening to on the speaker in your delivery truck?" And he was like, "Well, as a matter of fact, it is. Why? Do you know them?" And now he has a buddy that he plays Warhammer with every weekend.
It was very nice.
Yeah, we read that. We were like, "Oh, this is adorable. We're definitely going to mention this in the next episode." And then we got delayed by 2 weeks.
But yeah, so thanks again to I'm gonna fuck this name up. Vya, VYA. So that's just the name that we have. Yeah, that's probably wrong. I'm sorry. I'm stupid, but Vya is what I'm gonna say. Really appreciate your email. And like we always say, feel free to reach out to us in any way, shape, or form. We always enjoy interacting with all the listeners. You guys rock. And I think that's it, guys. Is that it? I think that's it. All right. Let's talk about shroom-addicted gobos.
Gloomspite Gitz.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to start this off with who are goblins? What are goblins? Are goblins good? Are goblins bad?
What is a goblin?
Hilarious. That's what a goblin is.
A goblin is well, they typically stand at a man's chest, and they are constantly high on mushrooms. They live truly the best life. Also, maybe
I guess depending on the trip, it could be the worst life.
Yeah, it really depends. But they are of everybody's cave dweller's dream, unless you're a dwarf. Because they come from the caves.
Listen, hold on. I've been working on this joke for a while now because Troggoths are a part of Gloomspite Gitz. Is that the Gloomspite Gitz put the Trog in troglodyte?
That's bad.
And it's bad, but it's also accurate. I'm gonna go back to my corner of shame.
Yeah, you should. You go back there, my dude.
And please never return from it.
Okay. I think maybe probably the most important thing to cover first when it comes to Gloomspite Gitz is probably the Bad Moon, because
that really is what distinguishes them.
Well, yeah, like they basically don't do anything unless the Bad Moon's involved. So,
I mean, they're okay. So, what is the Bad Moon? We're gonna go from goblins to Bad Moon.
It's a moon that partakes in crime.
Honest to God, yes.
And that is, in fact, the secret ingredient.
Yes. So there's a lot of myths when it comes to the idea of like how the Bad Moon was created. One of these particular myths is that Gorka Morka was like, I'm gonna go bite that moon, and bit the moon, and a tooth got left in the moon, kind of giving the essence of Gorka Morka into the moon.
Now, I have a quick question. The Bad Moon, I've always been a little confused about this. Is the Bad Moon a holdover from fantasy or the world that was, rather, or is this something that appeared in the Eight Realms?
I honest to God don't know.
I can't quite remember either. There's a piece of my brain that wants to say yes, but I've never been the biggest fan of greenskins. Nothing against them. They're just not my play style. So I don't know a whole lot about them, especially from the world that was. But I want to say yes, but I don't really have anything to back that up, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah. I don't have any recollection. I do not have a memory of it when I played my Gloomspite.
I don't know why, Mitchell. I thought you were gonna say recolicious for some reason, and my brain rolled with "that's what you said," and I just sat there for a second, like, "What the fuck was that?"
I'm good.
I know. I know.
Continue.
I know that the Gloomspite Gitz, they were around in Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah.
In the old world.
I don't think they were okay. So goblins were around. I don't think the Gloomspite Gitz were around. So I think they were just called goblins. I think Gloomspite Gitz in this particular flavor, and how this army is built in their lore specific to AOS.
Well, my issue is that I liked, so Age of Sigmar, love that shit. Fantasy, I don't care so much about. I get a lot of my lore for fantasy from
Total War.
Total War, and like I'm pretty sure the Gloomspite Gitz are a race in Total War.
It's just goblins. Yeah, Skarsnik.
Yeah.
I played them. It's actually really fun.
Yeah, well, I forget what Skarsnik. Well, because Skarsnik is an actual character. I just forget.
It doesn't
Crooked
exist.
Moon. It's because they're called Crooked Moon.
Oh no,
But-
that's what I'm thinking of.
But
Yeah.
the Bad Moon does use a lot of iconography. That is
Okay, that's probably where I'm getting confused. then, 'cause
basically
that's
an
right,
exact copy of Crooked Moon.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the Crooked Moon clan is something from the world that was.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's probably where I'm getting confused.
Yeah. Continuing with the whole entire like the myths of how the creation of the bad moon. One of the other myths that state that what the bad moon is that they believe it's the spirit of all the dead grot shamans.
Oh,
And,
that's cool.
yeah. So that's another one.
Oh, the Spider Fang one is pretty, horrifying. The gigantic egg in the sky.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that one's pretty scary. I don't really believe in that one, but
Yeah, I choose
Spider
not to
Riders-
believe in that one either because if
To
that one's
keep my
true, I
sanity.
would screech.
Well,
Basically, it's the egg of a spider god beast that ran up and bit Gorka Morka's foot and got wog energy that way, and then shit out a gigantic egg in the sky. And one day it will open and it will flood the mortal realms with arachnids, and it'll be fucking horrifying.
guys, that's our covering of the spider god. If we missed that during the god episodes, there you go.
We will never talk about it again.
I really prefer the idea of the grot shamans. Like, cool beans, Gorka Morka bit the moon. I like the idea of grot shamans because there's a thing that the bad moon actually does, and that is actually able to join the battle. So just like, ooh, damn, there's a lot of destruction going down there. So it would just throw meteorites down at the ground to kind of join the battle.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I prefer the story of Gorka Morka biting the moon because I feel like that kind of correlates with the Mitchell. Are you good there, bud?
Mm-mm.
Are you dying?
I was choking on water.
Stop
oh my god.
it. Stop it. Get some help. But no, I feel like Gorka Morka going on a big rampage and drinking oceans and shit, and then trying to eat the moon and imbuing the moon with wog energy because it couldn't eat it. Kind of has the same energy as Godrak being born from a piece of Gorka Morka's knuckle bone. It kind of has the same energy of Gorka Morka just doing dumb shit and spawning entire factions of green skins, or a super orc that runs around murdering people and shit. I feel like they kind of those kind of go hand in hand. So I think I prefer that one.
So the only reason why I don't like it also that much is because that's the exact same thing for Kragnos' shield. One of the big reasons why the Kragnos' shield is so very anti-magic is because Gorka Morka bit it.
Ah.
Yeah.
So I mean, from a certain point of view, that actually makes the Gorka Morka theory a little more valid because we have an established lore where it's like, oh yeah,
Gorka
he
Morka
can-
likes to bite things.
yeah, he bites things
mean,
and
yeah,
they kind of
he bites
gain
things.
a power of their own. On the
Sounds
other
like
hand, just for flavor, I like the other version better with the shamans.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, those are the theories behind the birth of the bad moon and what made it and whatnot. Or you could just believe that the bad moon is the bad moon because it does hood rat shenanigans and does lots of crime, and that's why it's the bad moon.
Yeah.
That's my favorite theory right there, the one that I just made up on the spot.
Yeah. I'm so proud of you. It took you a while to get a thought out, but that there you did. You got
Thanks, Dad.
it. So proud. But there are many effects the bad moon brings, and one of the big effects that the bad moon actually does bring is that it just first it
Drives
stops
people
all the,
literally fucking insane.
it stops the grots from fighting. So I like to kind of explain Gloomspite Gitz as kind of Skaven without Warpstone.
I don't think they're that bad, but Yeah, definitely in the same
They
vein.
kind of have a similar vibe, yeah.
They're
Yeah,
all very backstabby. They're just trying to get to the very top.
I would say they're not as head ass as Skaven are, but they're definitely in the same vein.
Yeah. But when the bad moon comes, it actually truly just it stops the infighting of the Grots. And they join together to go like, we're gonna go destroy that city. So that's one of the big kind of like when people see a bad moon, that's one of the big fears because they know it's coming.
Like, oh no, the moon's doing crime. That means all of the little crime goblins are gonna crawl to their holes.
Yeah. Also, it brings the goblins into a state of delirium.
So it's actually funny. Do you know how that works exactly? It's actually called the Gloomspite. That's what that is. And the reason why that's such a big deal is because the Gloomspite Gitz, the gobos and whatnot, they're not potent enough to actually generate wog energy, so they can't wog like orcs can. So instead of wogging, they Gloomspite. Yeah, that's their wog.
I don't know how I like that.
I think it's fucking hilarious. They're like, oh man, we can't wog it out. Time to get high as fuck off shrooms and go bark at the moon and probably murder some humies.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Something else that I find fucking hilarious is kind of in the same area as that is, we'll go into it later, but like the shit the bad moon's made out of is like dumb as fuck, and one of the ways that gobbo shamans use the bad moon rock, I think it's called Loonstone, is they'll actually steal wog energy from other orcs and give it to their own gobos.
Yes.
They'll just walk out and be like, that's some tasty wog energy, drink, and then be like, hey you gobos, you kids want to buy some wog?
Yeah. Oh, here's a really interesting fact.
Back on track. I just fucking love that little piece of information.
So one of the big things is that nobody can actually predict the path of the bad moon. It's kind of one of those like where the hell it's going to go. There are very few people who kind of like state that they can tell where it's actually going to go, and one of those people is what the Loon
Gragot.
Yeah, the Loon King. And then another one, I believe, was his literal name is Glareface Frazzlegit. He was actually known to be a good, like, an equal to the bad moon. So that really brings the perspective because Grots absolutely hate each other. All the gobos hate each other, but they went to this one gobbo and went, "You're pretty cool, almost bad moon cool. Follow you." But since nobody actually kind of knows how, like, where the moon is actually going to travel, it's actually theorized that Trogos actually come from the moon. They're the heralds of the bad moon because they instinctively go where the bad moon is going to go. So
that's pretty interesting.
Which is really funny because they literally kind of don't have a brain. There's cases where Troggoths kind of have their head being blown off and they just keep on walking and their head regenerates because there's really nothing up there. They just keep going.
Oh, wait, Mitchell, before we get into like Troggoth and what, sorry, I kind of blanked out because I was shoving mac and cheese in my mouth. Let's go over kind of what the Gloomspite boys were doing during like Age of Myth and Age of Chaos and all that good tasty stuff.
Well, Age of Chaos is going to be really easy. That's
Age
actually when
Age of Myth is pretty easy too, because Age of Myth is just like they came to be, and then they like fucked off to their little corners, and they did the things that initially laid the groundwork for the clans that they became, and that was basically all that really happened in the Age of Myth.
Yeah, the Age of Chaos being really when Chaos came, everybody went into caves. A separate group of Grots went into the jungles and became friends with spiders. So that's how you get your spider people. Spiderfang.
Brody.
Spiderfang, yeah.
And then yeah, they went so deep in the caves that they just became dank.
The dankest. What's
the dank boys? Look, all I'm saying is they live in caves, and you know what else likes to grow in caves?
Shrooms.
Shrooms.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What's really cool about the Age of Chaos is actually when Gloomspite Gitz became a thing. Because before then, they were just their own separate clans. Moon Clan was Moon Clan, Spider Fang was Spider Fang, the Troggoth the Troggoths, and that was it. But what happened was, I think basically there was a Gobbo by the name of
It's a glare face Fraz legit.
I can't remember his name, but
Was he once called the equal to the Bad Moon?
no,
Okay,
I don't think so. But basically, I think the Moon Clan had a kind of wog, basically, and then they were doing their thing, and then the Gortide saw them. They're like, "Ooh, fresh meat," and they fucking annihilated it after fighting for 8 straight days. And the Moon Clan fucked off really deep into caves and whatnot, and they dug so deep into caves that they actually started meeting other grots. They met other they met the Spider Fang clans and other Moon clans and the Troggoths and whatnot. And more often than not, they ended up making treaties and trade agreements than just fighting. And through these alliances, they became more and more friendly. And that's actually kind of what made the Gloomspite Gitz. Was
Is it Zogbog?
I'm sorry?
Zogbog?
Zogbog?
Zogbog, under Emperor of the Gloomy Lands.
Something like that. but yeah, that's actually how like the Gloomspite Gitz came to be, which I think is super fucking cool. They also occasionally dug into Skaven burrows and Fire Slayer magma holds, but like that's a different
kind
story.
of a requirement to be an underground dwelling society in Age of Sigmar.
Every now and then you dig into someone else's shit.
There's a gnaw hole here.
Yep. Or you're like, oh my god, there's some angry dwarves. Why are they here?
It's really funny. Every time they do that, they all pour out into this hole they dug, and they're like, cool. Everyone's about to die.
Yeah.
All of you are going to die, or all of us are going to die, and then you're going to keep your shit, or we're going to take your shit. And that's basically how that goes.
Yeah. Okay, but continuing, like, so in the places they kind of like call home, quote unquote home,
the caves.
They can really typically be labeled as 3 different things. One of those 3 different things being layers, nest, and holes. So layers, that's kind of like scrap a spill. That's
the big one. That's the big one.
Yeah, that is their Skaven Blight city.
Yeah.
It's just a cave and it's full of grots, and that's a lair.
And the Scrappa Spill itself is an underground mountain of rusting weapons. Like it's literally just a basically a knife pit.
Yeah. Also, it wasn't originally actually grots. It actually originally, the reason why there's so many knives and everything there
is dwarven, wasn't it?
No, it was originally the Noblars.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is really interesting because what they're known as for is this like grots that steal.
They're just sneaky grots that steal shit.
Yeah. They're not really grots, but they're Noblars, but imagine them as grots stealing everything.
Yeah.
Aren't Noblars a good bit smaller than grots?
I think they could be, yeah.
I feel like Noblars are fucking tiny.
Yeah, they typically work with the Ogre Maw tribes.
Yeah. Specifically the Gut Busters. Yeah, no, the thing about Noblars is that Noblars, basically their whole thing was they were at one point grots. And they were like, we're fucking sick and tired of everyone else telling us what to do and getting pushed around and shoved around by like ogres and oryx and things like that. So finally one day they were like, you know what? Fuck this shit. And they just left. Like they just got up, got all their shit and ran away and left everyone else behind. And they just became master scavengers and like they just became mean as hell. Because basically their whole shtick was like, everyone else is mean to us, so we're gonna be the absolute meanest sons of bitches that we can be, and anyone who fucks with us, like we're gonna repay each disgrace 10 times over. But if you're an ally with us, we're going to unleash that same wrath on your enemies. And so they just made themselves really desirable as allies rather than enemies, because the other thing about it is they're master scavengers, so they can just find shit whenever you need it. So the ogre mod tribes really like them because they'll just go find shit and the ogres are like, Oh, well, this is really useful. Thank you for that.
That one Noblar that just walks around with a sword covered in fucking what's it called? The fucking the shit that's in the 8 points. The resource in 8 points.
Oh, we're just gonna call Archeon's ball sack dripping.
Archeon ballsack juice, yeah, the drippings. Yeah, just like weapons coated in that. Like, where the fuck did you find that? It's like, wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Where did you get that? So
yeah, I'm trying to remember what that's called. It's
a Noblar casually walking around with Galmaraz.
It's called Varanite.
There we go. I was about to say it's. I know it's not vibranium. That's the wrong IP.
I was wanting to say malachite. I'm like, that's not right.
So and then in these kind of layers, you can go deeper, further into the ground. That's where you get holes. That's where the Trogos are.
Am I wrong in associating Trogos with just really angry cave trolls?
I think that's 100% what they are.
No. Nobody actually really wants to know how Trogos are made, so they just kind of everybody just agrees. Oh, they agree to disagree on the fact that they just appear.
Troggoths exist, and that's as far as we're willing. Troggoths exist, and that's as far as we're willing to take that thought.
Nobody wants to know, so they just go, cool beans, you live in the hole. That's kind of like the deepest, darkest, dankest, moistest. Yeah, God.
In my head canon, Troggoths are just super dank mushroom cave trolls.
Yes, this is exactly what they are.
I'd like to think that knowing what I know about like grots and things like that like everybody else thinks that these are just the meanest sons of bitches around and like nobody wants to fuck with them, when the fact of the matter is the reason the Troggoths and the Gloomspite Gitz get along so well is they just sit way down deep in their holes and just smoke the dankest kush, and they're actually just like really chill people. But they also value their little green friends really highly. So whenever the little green friends are like, "Hey, so like we're having a great time, but these guys are kind of making us angry," and then the Troggoths are like, "Oh,
yeah,
you hurt my friend. Nobody hurts my friend."
Yeah. And then the last bit we have are the nests. So nests are where the spiders kind of they don't really go into caves. They kind of go into the jungle.
That's where the spiders are.
Yeah.
That's all we're gonna talk about. That.
You really hate guys. I once had Circe almost kill me because I ran into a spider web on the ranch.
Okay, no, that is not okay. No, fucking what is it? Tangent one. Fuck you. That's not how it went. I went to Mitchell's ranch and we're in the little fucking golf cart thing that he has to drive around because we were gonna go shoot at the range or shoot at the place where we shoot on the ranch. And I was like, hey, listen, you know I don't do with spiders. And we've been driving around a little bit. And those fuckers are hanging off trees and shit. So please be mindful so I don't catch a mouthful of arachnid and promptly projectile vomit. That's what happens when I deal with spiders. I have a phobia. It's just what it is. And not 3 minutes after I say that, this motherfucker is pedal to the metal in this cart. And sure as shit, there's a spider, big ass spider, with a perfectly made web hanging off a tree, heading directly for my face. And I'm like, cool. Well, this isn't acceptable. So I basically jumped into Mitchell's lap because I'm like, yeah, no, this is not fucking happening. And sure as shit, hits the spider. It flicks onto the seat. It's pissed as shit. I'm screaming. And I'm just like, why would you do this to me? Why would you do this to me? Why would you do this to me? Why did you do that to me, Mitchell? I require an answer.
There is no answer. It just kind of happened.
The answer is you're a fucking prick.
Yep. That's me. God, I'm dying.
You deserve it.
Yeah, I probably do in some form or fashion. Not because of the spider incident. It's probably something else.
I don't do arachnids. No, I don't do it. I don't deal with them.
He will never play against my spider army.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
No, I think if you want him to play against your spider armor, you're gonna have to let him play salamanders.
Well, no, that's the funny thing is for me, like looking at them talk, that's fine. It's just when I am in intimate danger of them touching me that I start basically getting irrational.
Oh, by the way, the whole entire like the spider fang actually have this really cool thing because they don't do the Gloomspite. Like the gloom.
I like how you phrase that. They don't do the Gloomspite.
Not the Gloomspite. They don't do the Everdank. They do the Evercrawl.
The ever what?
Well, yeah, because the Evercrawl, because the spider fangs are the ones that believe that the bad moon is a gigantic spider egg that'll bring upon the spider apocalypse.
Yeah. So like they don't do the Everdank. They do the Evercrawl. And
So real quick,
yeah.
I don't think we've actually told you what the Everdank is. Basically, it's like the Gloomspite's version of like the apocalypse, but in their favor. So if anyone who's played Skyrim, if you have the Dawnhold or Dawnguard DLC and you get the bow, Dawnguard, yeah, you get the bow and you shoot the moon and it makes everything dark, not like pitch black, but the sun's definitely blotted out. Yeah, that's the Everdank. Just a little more dank, a little less vampire.
I like to imagine this because I actually never played Skyrim. Fun fact: you may murder me later.
I'm not even mad. I'm
not mad. I'm
just surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised you managed to avoid it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like saying
considering you have a Switch and like for a while there, they were basically handing out Skyrim on the Switch for free.
I feel that's kind of like saying you never played Fallout New Vegas.
I actually have.
I mean, I've never played Fallout New Vegas.
What?
Okay, but you've played Skyrim. But like being able to say you haven't played either of those is just like I'm not sure if I'm offended or impressed.
Yeah.
It's like, are you a real person? Do you exist?
Real quick, this is more just. I guess it's for anyone who actually gives a shit, but all for Phil and Mitchell, or for Mitchell, I guess. Sean was telling me that he got a peek-see at one of the leaks about upcoming games that are on the docket to be put into development very, very soon. Fallout New Vegas 2 is on that docket.
Let's go!
Let's go!
Yeah.
Sorry for blowing everybody's ears, but I really like Fallout New Vegas.
You actually cut out right there, and it's really funny because you still sound like, I know that on the recording you sound fine, but to me you still sound really quiet. So I just heard this tiny little whisper of your microphone shutting off, and I was like, "Oh, Mitchell's shouting."
No, honestly, like the way it cut out for me, it sounded like the video of the cat getting in the bath, going like, "No, no, no, no," and that's kind of what it sounded like at the very end. But yeah, that apparently that's on the docket to go into development soon. So we're probably not going to be getting it until like 2025, 2026. But like, yeah, that's a thing.
So this is for Philip because I already told Circe about this. Continuing with our tangent a little bit. So Philip, the PS5 is backwards compatible.
Okay.
I have a game exchange located in College Station.
Uh-huh.
I found Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War.
Okay.
They were like $8, and I was like, "Hell yeah, let's go!" So
great fucking games.
Now I'm playing Shadow of War on the PS5, so it's like max graphics on a 120 frame TV, 120 hertz TV.
Wait, are you playing Shadow of War first?
No, Shadow of Mordor.
Okay, I was like, bro, that's the sequel.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot. I'm just stupid.
I'm not stupid. I'm just dumb. There's a difference. I'm not stupid. I'm a buffoon.
But yeah, no, I have that game is like what 9 years old, and I'm like, wow, this is actually holding up very well.
Yeah, I think 2014. Yeah. It's a great fucking game though.
It's held up very well.
That game was, honest to God, it felt ahead of its time because it's just a solid game.
Oh yeah, and War was really good too.
Yeah, I think the biggest complaint about War was just that it was Shadow of Mordor just upgraded a little bit.
Yeah, there was a lot about War that was very samey, but they did add in some things that made it a little different. But like realistically, it's kind of like when people say that KOTOR 2 is bad because like KOTOR 1, but KOTOR 1 is considered to be one of the best RPGs ever made. So it's like cool. I am akin to greatness, so I'll take the compliment.
Yeah. Okay. Continuing, we're done with this tangent.
Yes, sorry, the tangent. Arcanum Optimar. That's the next big lore point for Gloomspite, which realistically it's just Soul Wars. It's just Nagash being a dumbass and fucking up the magic for everybody.
It really made the Bad Moon angry.
Yeah, it pissed off. It pissed off the criminally inclined Celestial Moon Body.
What did that?
And the reason why that's a problem is I don't think Mitchell talked about the thing that the bad moon does, but basically anyone who looks at the bad moon that like isn't a green skin kind of has a
They go
magic 8-ball effect of horrible things that can happen to them.
Yeah, they kind of also go into delirium, right?
Well, that's one of they go into a deep delirium. They can go just straight insane. They can start muttering in dead languages backwards, or they can start explosively growing spores out of their body, like we're playing the fucking Last of Us.
Did not
Oh
know
wow,
about
how
that.
fun!
Did not
And
know about
deadly.
that one. Nice. I just want to have my Gloomspite army even more now.
And another big problem with that is, wherever the moon goes, the Gloomspite goes, and where the Gloomspite goes, the Gloomspite Gitz go. The problem with that is Scragrot, which is more or less the leader of the Gloomspite Gitz.
The Loon King.
The Loom King, yes. One of the things that he did is because he's kind of like the prophet of the Bad Moon, essentially, is he built this thing called the Fungal Asylum, which is underneath Scrap a Spill, because that's like his city, his area. Underneath Scrap a Spill is something called the Fungal Asylum, and that's where he can track the Bad Moon, and he is the only shaman that's ever been able to track the Bad Moon consistently. He's been able to track it the past 4 times it's shown up. Like,
unless you
perfectly.
Well, he can't beat Trogos though, because remember, Trogos just naturally go where the Bad Moon's about to go.
Well, no, he said he's the only shaman who's been able to reliably track it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that still fits.
He needs to get on the level of brain dead trolls. I'm just saying that.
Listen. This is a hot take, but he can track the moon better than Trogos can. This is the hill that I will die on.
Hey guys. That's my secret. I'm always stupid.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always on shrooms.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always faded as fuck.
I don't know why. Every time we talk about Gloomspite Gitz, like especially when I was doing research, every time I read about the whole shroom bullshit, I just think of the Bert Kreischer stand up where he's like, "Hey Ray, you won't get high."
I think one of my favorite things talking about shrooms is I had a professor who told me about the time that he did shrooms.
Oh God!
And
did he meet God?
Texas Tech professor?
Huh?
Was this the Texas Tech professor?
No, this was my psychology professor. And it's while we were covering mind altering chemicals, which technically caffeine is a mind altering chemical, fun fact. But we were covering psychoactive drugs. And so we started with caffeine, and he was like, I'm assuming all of you have had caffeine, to which every one of us, like, every one of us over caffeinated college students was like, yeah, we know what the fuck caffeine is.
Every good college student that's running off of Adderall and caffeine.
Yeah, exactly. And then he stepped up to nicotine. And then we stepped up to, what was the next one we did? Oh, sugar. Sugar was actually the first one we covered. So we did sugar, caffeine, nicotine, and then marijuana, and then cocaine. And he told us about the time he did cocaine. I don't think we covered LSD. But I know we covered shrooms.
You might want to know why I'm the professor for psychoactive drugs. It's because apparently I've done all of them.
But then he talked about the time he did mushrooms, and it's always funny because the way he described being on shrooms it was like he was living in a comic book. Everything looked like a Borderland. Everything looked like he was living in the Borderlands universe.
Oh, that's wacky.
Oh yeah, he said it was one of the weirdest highs he's ever had.
That's some wacky tobacco shit right there.
Yep.
No, it's not wacky tobacco. It's funky fungi.
Okay,
he was on some fun guys.
Yeah, he was.
Seriously, do you want to go into the whole Terror clans?
Did we cover Scragrot?
Yeah, more or
before we
less.
start doing
Yeah,
recaps?
more or less.
Oh, I guess did we talk about how like he became the Loon King or the Loon King?
No.
So basically, he tripped hard as balls. Met.
I love this story. That's why I asked if we had covered him, because like we
he-
talked about him, but this is my favorite part.
He tripped hard as balls. Basically met Moon Jesus. Woke up covered in insects. Got a complete and total insect slime bath. Realized a super special shroom had grown on his magic staff of bullshit, and decided this made him king. And everyone else just fucking agreed with him. Mainly because the ones that didn't died violently.
Through
Okay.
the power of my joint rolling skills, I am God.
No. When you're that fucking high, it is only by the power of Grayskull, and that is it.
God,
By the
I
power of
love that.
Grayskull. The fuck's a Grayskull? I don't know, but I guess what? I'm master of the universe, bitch.
I don't know, but by the power of it.
God. Oh.
But yeah, no. Basically, he like had a he like the Bad Moon spoke to him and dubbed him the prophet of the moon, and yeah, woke up all fucking. Oh, he also has like a crown, a fungus crown that's growing into his brain, and
He's
it like
smart.
and it makes him more intelligent and more shenaniganery.
Okay, cool beans.
And yeah,
So
he is their king.
Another really interesting thing about him is his staff, the moon. I don't know if it's Wana or Ona, Moon Ona stick. Oh no, that's exactly what it is. It's God damn it, fucking greenskins.
Moon on a stick.
Because I've never said it out loud till now, but it's the moon on a stick. God damn it! Because I'm always looking at it, I was like, what the
on
fuck
a
is that?
stick.
And then like while we're sitting here, I'm like moon on a, and I'm like motherfucker. But no, the moon on a stick is his staff. And the thing about the moon on a stick is it does this thing where it turns people into these things called scry shrooms. So whenever the Gloomspites capture a prophet or a seer or like some kind of wizard who's capable of interpreting the future or seeing things like clairvoyant, they'll capture them and then they'll take them to meet Scragrot. And Scragrot takes him deep into the fungal asylum. And there, he uses the powers of the moon on a stick to turn them into living mushrooms. And all that's left of them is their faces. And these faces proceed to then scream and wail prophecies of the future.
I feel like Yoda would make the absolute
that's
dopest mushroom.
And that's actually part of how he predicts the bad moon, is that by turning these people into shrooms with the moon on a stick, he's able to predict the appearances of the moon.
Like, am I wrong in that assessment, or would Yoda make the dopest mushroom?
Bro, I like Yoda too much to see him turned into a mushroom.
But like, to do,
I mean, you're not wrong.
Due
also,
respect, he would make the absolute like balls to the wall shroom. I'm just saying.
No, see, my thing is that I
about
think he transcend into a force ghost and then repossess the shroom, and then like basically he just occasionally like say things in like Yoda speech to him to Scragrot that just like made absolutely no sense. Scragrot would just turn and look and go, "Wait a minute, oh,
like hold on, what?
Am I tripping too many balls right now?"
The absolute dankest of shrooms.
Just tells him, "Hey, your skin is blue. Are you okay?"
I think clans are next. Yeah.
Is it really clans or just hordes?
Potato tomato.
Okay, because kind of got like. Okay, so all the hordes
realistically.
all the hordes kind of match the flavors of how you can play the Gloomspite Gitz. I'm just gonna start with the Grim Scuttle. You got spiders. They do spider things.
They do spitters.
Glog's Mega Mob. Those be Trogos. I seriously you got any other?
Is that it? Yeah, they're Trogoths.
They're Trogos.
They do things. The Moon Clan So that's a big factor of the Gloomspite Gitz. I think that's the majority of what you see in Gloomspite Gitz is the Moon Clan. Like if they're not Troggarts and they're not riding spiders, probably Moon Clan. And they're like they're like the crazy fucking mushroom shamans and shit. They also make like potions and whatnot out of mushrooms. And yeah, they're pretty wild. I think Scragrot was initially a Moon Clan Git.
Right.
I remember correctly.
Well, yeah, because I think Scragra, I think he's the leader of the Moon Clans, and then he's also the ruler of the Gloomspite Gitz.
And I think
he's both.
I think it's just the Moon Clan in particular whose like eyes and shit get burned by the sun. Their skin and their eyes get burned by the sun. I think that's Moon Clan.
Yeah.
There's also
oh my god!
the,
hold on. Do y'all know what Moon Clan calls the sun?
What?
Glare face, frazzle git.
What?
Amazing.
I thought that's actually an actual. I hope my cat's not puking.
Well, no, it's like it's
I thought
like
that was an actual grot.
No, it's a boogeyman tale of the Moon Clan. It's glare face, frazzle git, and it's the fucking sun.
Gosh. Oh my gosh! Why am I so stupid? How did I notice that?
Yeah, it's basically like it's their boogeyman because the sun burns them and whatnot, and yeah, that's what they called it.
Literally, my notes as for glare face, frazzle, legit. Or
yeah, when I first read it, I thought it was it was fraz legit, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Frazzle git, that sounds better.
Yeah. Is like my notes literally state once called an equal to the Bad Moon, dominated Hish for centuries, because it literally states like that he actually dominated Hish, like he claimed to dominate the lands of Hish for centuries, and nobody actually kind of like contests him on that.
No one took him seriously.
Well, no, they just didn't contest him. They're like, of course you did. Yeah, you're pretty cool. It's like how Scragrot just kind of like, I'm king now. It's like
okay, neat.
Yeah. So I'm gonna argue that it's an actual Git, not I'm actually trying to find it.
Nope. It's a god that is
That's legit
based off the sun.
supplanted by the madness-induced glow of the bad moon of all time. Oh yeah, gods. Most of all, they would see the hateful light of Glareface, as legit supplanted by the man. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I'm an idiot.
It's cool. We still love you.
Or as my boss likes to put it, I'm not an idiot. I'm just illiterate.
I'm just illiterate.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
I mean, it's kind of accurate though. I've seen you try to read.
I can't read out loud worth a damn.
No.
Like it's actually quite pitiful.
It's okay, Mitchell. We still love you.
We still love you, bud.
I still got through college, so I got that going for me.
I got my degree, and that's enough.
Yeah,
Yep.
You gotta love how all throughout high school they're like, "Yeah, can you read for the class?" And then you hit college, and they're like, "I swear to God, if I hear you utter one word while we're reading, I'm gonna cut your head off."
Any of you fuckers deign to use your vocal cords, I'm going to rip them out. Oh, you know what we haven't talked about?
What?
The little fucking celestial body that orbits the bad moon.
I didn't read about this. Continue.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I did not find this either.
Okay, yeah. So there's different clans think it's different things. The Moon Clan thinks that it's another like god or demigod, I think. That's basically no. They think it's a squig god beast who tried to eat Hish and died because of it. And so the bad moon was like, hey, you get to be my little buddy, and like apparently its skull is in Giran.
Boingob's that's Boingob.
Boingob, yeah.
Yeah. So fun fact, all of the best squigs are born in the skull of Boingob.
In the skull of Boingob.
Yes, and that kind of goes on to like another clan / horde, which is the Jaws of Mork. It's just squigs. It's so
Lots of squigs.
And the whole entire idea is like they just want. Well, what was it?
It's time to get squiggly.
I remember reading back in like an old white dwarf about trying to jump over the moon or something. But that could have been like old world or something. But it's just they like to jump. Squigs like to jump, and the jaws of Mork are. Yeah, they're scary because squigs are weirdly scary.
They're literally just legs and a mouth.
Yes.
But yeah, no, the bad moon, the little celestial satellite body, is the Moon Clan thinks that it is an ascended Boing Gob. Another thing that people think it is I think Gork's fist, and it exists to punch other celestial bodies that get too close to the bad moon.
I love that so much. That's amazing.
What another thing? Let me think. I think there's one more big one. I'm just trying to remember what it is. I think this kind of goes into the whole Boing Gob thing, where it's also it's the Bad Moon's pet squig. So probably still Boing Gob.
Yeah, still, let's all believe it's Boing Gob.
Yeah.
Boing Gob is best boy.
The bestest of boys.
Which is Boing Gob was actually a squig god beast, pretty much.
I remember. And the third theory is that the little thing that orbits the bad moon is the spirit of an ancient Moon Clan leader or chief or something who conquered 8 mountain peaks and was blessed to accompany Gorkamorka's rampage in the sky for all time for being a good leader, a good warrior and clan leader.
Oh yeah,
that would kind of give
Oh,
credence to the whole the bad moon is all of the dead souls of the shamans.
Okay. It's Skarsnik.
Don't do that to me. Stop.
My lord, I hate peaks.
I don't want. I won't cry.
God, I played that.
Why would you do this to me?
It's just like, but sorry, bud, but like one lord of 8 peaks. So like 8 mountains, Skarsnik is the best boy.
He is in fact the sneakiest of Gitz.
He is the Git to get all Gits.
The Git to end all Gits.
I think there's actually some Gargants that are. I'm sorry, I was away from my mic. I think there's some Gargants that are associated with the Gloomspite. I think it's the Ale Guzzler Gargants.
Yeah, that's the right one.
Yeah, probably.
I think. And they're drunks.
Of course they are.
Really? With a name like Ale Guzzler?
Yeah, that's their shtick. They're drunks.
Okay.
That kind of fits with the theme, though, of just everyone being inebriated at all times by all the drugs.
I think their actual lore just states that they're in a permanent state of drunkenness.
Not much lore going on there, do they?
I mean, they're not a super big.
I don't think they have much going on there, period.
Yeah, I think they're just sloshed, and that's like their entire aesthetic. What are you? Drunk? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think that was really majority of the clans.
Yeah, I don't think that there's anything else. I mean, I think another clan is the Git mob, but they're not.
Yeah,
really important.
The Git mob's whole shtick is that they're just really sneaky. So they kind of specialize in hit and run tactics.
Oh, they're the Wolf Riders, right?
Yeah, they're the ones who like to jump out of shadows, stab people real quick, and run away.
Oh, I know what we haven't talked about. The Loonstone. Their resource.
You said that, but okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. You say it with your chest, Mitchell.
But I did.
Be fucking louder.
Okay. Hey, seriously, talk about the Loonstone.
We're gonna take a quick break so Mitchell can cry.
I can go cry without taking a break. It's fine. Done it before.
Yeah. So the Loonstone, that's like the Gloomspite gets like special resource. And they're just meteors that fall from the bad moon, but they do have some special properties.
And that property is stealing WOG energy.
Oh, and that's not it.
That's not.
That's the funniest one, but that's not that's not it.
That is not it. Okay.
No.
Well, it's not the only.
It's not. It's not. It's not the only one. There we go. I would say stealing WOG energy is the wackiest one. But
yeah,
no,
so basically, just real quick, shamans can use this to steal WOG energy, and then that's how they get their WOG energy.
if they WOG instead of gloomspiting, it's because a shaman with some loonstone has stolen WOG energy from other orcs, and those orcs didn't find out and kill them for it.
Exactly.
So something else that they do is that so the loonstone itself is like a pale kind of bone colored rock, and it has a yellowish glow, but you can't. It's so faint you can't see it in daylight, but you can see it at night, and it glows even brighter when it's near a sentient being that's having treacherous or duplicitous thoughts.
Huh.
So shamans will wear it around their neck so they can know when people are like trying to scheme about them. But the problem is that all Gitz lie and scheme. So shamans put it around their neck. It starts glowing because they're lying and scheming, and it freaks them the fuck out. And they basically go down the rabbit hole of paranoia until they end up dying.
That's amazing.
So they do, in fact, play themselves.
Get wrecked.
Get fucking wrecked. Oh, and they can also explode.
Oh.
I think.
Oh, that's what that doesn't belong there.
Because the loonstone like soaks up arcane energy, like naturally occurring arcane energy, and if you have a shaman who is like skilled enough to utilize that, they can use that energy to just like shoot it at people into a laser beam of destruction, or it just blows the fuck up.
Sorry, I'm giving a lot of head pats from like actually 7 feet away.
But yeah, that's
Wait, you're giving your cat head pats from 7 feet away?
I get a really good hate measure.
Oh my god.
What the fuck? Oh, and occasionally, I think loonstone is used are used as lanterns.
Yeah. Yeah.
All you have to do is lie, and it gets brighter.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Hey guys, just lie and it'll get brighter. I'm a good person. Immediately lights up like a second sun.
Looks directly to your friend. I'm not going to kill you in your sleep tonight. Witness the power of the sun.
Yeah.
Fuck. I think that's it. Like, there's not a whole lot.
Yeah. Their lore is very. Well, we also were very vague about it, but like, their lore is just vague in general. Like when you read
it kind of is.
There's a couple of war bands. I think one's called.
They have that book, but like that's actually kind of where a lot of the lore comes from.
Like it's either you got the battle tome. That's really about it.
Yeah,
battle tome.
The Gloomspite
was
book
a good
itself talks about like how they fight, and they fight because they come from the ground. That's how they fight. They don't really like this idea of like open battle. They just go like, haha, you think you're safe in your walls? Nuh-uh. You didn't take in consideration of the ground, because that's what's been going a lot of what like the Dawnbringer Crusades, because they would erect all these walls with magic. But the thing is that magic can't penetrate the ground of Gur.
Yeah, so the Gloomspites would just dig up underneath him and be like, "Surprise, bitch!"
Yeah,
erupt from underneath the ground. What's up, fuckers?
So one of the big things is that like these Dawnbringer Crusades actually had to bring in Dispossess to check caves and dwellings around in a certain area to make sure that like the area is safe. So one of the things I also want to talk about when it comes to the Gloomspite, because a lot of people may not think like, well, they're not the big and brawn of the destruction that typically, as you see, the Iron Jaws, the Sons of Behemoth, or the Ogre Maul tribes. They closely more match the idea of what is the Cruel Boy. Because there's two sides to destruction. You got
Cunningly cruel and cruelly cunning.
Well, no, I think it's brutally cunning and cunningly brutal.
Well,
Yeah, that's what it is.
You got pure strength, and then you just got cunning. And the Cruel Boys, and the Gloomspite Gitz are both just very cunning. Actually,
that's where the whole phrase comes from, is like brutally cunning and cunningly brutal.
I'm gonna have to step away for like 2 minutes so I can meme on my girlfriend. Give me 1 second.
Oh, okay. Hi, Jess.
He's already gone.
Mitchell. No, I'm still here. I'm just gonna be silent. Bobby Mitchell says, "Go fuck yourself."
Accurate. 10 out of 10. Can confirm.
True translation.
I wanted to look up something. Oh, right.
But they actually have a really weird relationship with Cruel Boys, because since they're both very cunning, they would actually kind of use each other. But the Cruel Boys also very much see Gloomspite Gitz with like discontent. They kind of go.
I have memed. I am back.
Okay, and they kind of just sit there and just kind of just go like, we're more cunning and we're stronger than you, so please go away, or get back into the shoddy hole that you came from.
Sounds about right.
That's my tangent.
I'm proud of you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think
Is that it? Are we good podcasters? Did we talk about the things?
I think we did talk about the things.
Honestly, I think we're bad podcasters, but people like to believe we're good, so.
Listen, I have to tell myself I'm a good podcaster so I can sleep at night, even though in my heart of hearts I know that's not true.
Yeah.
I am, in fact, going to podcaster hell.
Excellent.
Yes. Oh. Well, I think that was about it. Whenever y'all have the chance, I would very much like y'all's help to move stuff from one room to another.
Oh yeah, well I figured we would come up to the 2 weeks from now when we do our next episode. We'll just do that. Would me and Phil come up early, like maybe a day early, or just early on Saturday?
Aren't we planning on going on a trip in 2 weeks?
What trip?
This sounds like something to do not while we're recording.
Wow. Okay,
yeah,
well,
whatever.
Yeah, sorry.
I thought we had
this
something
one,
planned.
this EP might have been a little low energy, but like, I'm normally in bed or going to sleep by now. At least the past week and a half, so I'm a little blue.
Are you sure about that?
Normally, yeah. Like last night was an exception, but yeah, no. The past week, I've been in bed by I've been asleep by 12. Normally, I wake up at like 5:30, and then that's why I'm up early as shit. But
let's be honest, I'm hardly ever the most energetic out of all of this.
That's pretty fair.
I've been trying to survive, and that's about it.
I think our Discord episodes are normally a little lower energy because we can't feed off of each other's body language, and I can't aggressively molest Mitchell's foot with my feet.
I'm gonna touch your thighs.
I want to feel your skin.
I need to mold myself into you.
Yes.
All right, moving on.
Okay. Well, other than that, I hope y'all have a good one.
Yes, it was really good to be back. Just once again, shout out to the Patreon. Thank you guys for not murdering us for being gone for so long. We are going to be resolving the quarterly contest very, very soon. I'm sorry that got put on hold. I know people probably want to fucking burn us at the stake for that one.
I know one particular person. That's the organizer. But yes.
You guys are fucking awesome as always. Also, we're gonna be a little more active on Discord now that things are more settled, because I know I've basically been fucking gone. Mitchell's been a little more active than I have, but he was gone for a week because of trip, and Philip is never on the Discord. So
let's begin.
I was on today. Thank you very much.
How long had it been?
Shut up.
You're so on. Yeah, you're on so seldomly. People go, "Oh my gosh, you have graced us with your presence."
Exactly, just the way I like it.
I think people just habitually think you've been kidnapped by Guatemalan terrorists or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everybody have a good night.
Peace out, homies.
Hasta luego.